People say time is money, but for me, it's your greatest commodity. I read a book once, Short History of Everything by Bill Bryson, and in that book he talked about the average long lifespan of a human was 650,000 hours. And I thought about that, and I turned 27, and I thought to myself, how old was I in hours? So I did a rough calculation of how many hours old I was. Basically 24 hours a day times by 7 days a week times by 52 weeks a year gave you about 8,000 odd hours. Then I times that by the number of years old I was to give me a rough calculation of how many hours old I was. Something like 270 odd thousand hours. I had that time, and then I thought to myself, well, what have I done with that time? So I then thought about how many hours on average you'd sleep. So I just went for 8 hours a day on average from being born to the age of 27. Then I looked at the number of hours I'd been in compulsory education at school. So I took that really from the age of say 4 or 5, going to nursery school, junior school, through to high school, and then I included college because I did go to college for 2 years. And I basically worked that out on a 7 to 8 hour working day, and used rough calculations for term time. Then I thought about compulsory work, so I then based it on the idea that I went to work from the age of, excuse me, just got to turn my food down. Basically, that I went to work from the age of 18 and based it on an average 9-hour working day with an hour to and from work travelling either side. So I then worked out how many hours I spent working, how many hours I spent travelling to and from work based on a 5-day week. Although I didn't always work Monday to Friday, I've always worked shift patterns, so for me that wasn't maybe necessarily 100% accurate, but for the average working person, they work Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and then they've probably got an hour's journey to or from, because a lot of people now don't live where they work anymore. And then, so that was basically the hours. Then it was that number of hours eating. And then I did work out a rough calculation, the number of hours I spent watching television, based on like national statistics. Then took that figure away from how old I was in hours, and what was left was the number of hours that was I had left to do the things I wanted to do and be the person I wanted to be. And it's quite a sobering thought when you think that you've been alive for 279,000 hours. And when you take away the stuff that they make you do compulsory, education, work, travelling to and from work and all the rest of it, the amount of time that's left for you to do what you want to do. So then I thought about, well, how many hours had I spent maybe going out? So I thought, well, let's just take a Friday or a Saturday night, maybe every week, because a lot of people go out on a Friday or a Saturday. I know when I used to play rugby, I used to go out on a Saturday with the guys. So then maybe went out once or twice more than that as well. So worked out an average on how many hours maybe a week I was spending out down the pub or out with my mates having a drink. Then how many hours I spent at rugby training, in the gym, actually playing rugby, travelling to and from rugby. And when you take away all those hours, now you might say, well, those are things that you wanted to do, which is true. Yeah, I like to do all that stuff, but it starts whittling down how much time you actually have. And for me, it made me think that life is really precious. By that time I'd studied a little bit of Buddhism and about how people spend so much time concentrating on worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, and they forget to live for the moment. So for me, that was really, although I'd been on a bit of a journey by that point, I kind of got to the point then where I thought, right, now is my time to make the most of the moments as they come. And so now that's what I try to do. I try not to dwell on the past or worry too much about the future. What will be will be. Life is an endless series of moments, and if we don't concentrate, if we're not present in the moment, then we'll miss out on those points. So I guess that's just what I wanted to say today. Time is your greatest commodity. Even 270,000 hours, I realised that I'd live twice as many again, and I still wouldn't reach that point of 650,000 hours that Bill Bryson had explained to me. So it's never too late to start something new. It's never too late to change the things that you want to change. You don't have to wait for January the 1st if you want to change something in your life that you're not happy with. Go out there and be the change. You're a powerful being.